The mainstream media has been relentless in its pursuit to convince the masses that global warming is an existential threat to humanity and that drastic measures must be taken to mitigate its effects. However, beneath the surface of this narrative lies a more sinister agenda, one that seeks to control and manipulate the population through propaganda and fear-mongering. The mainstream media's fixation on global warming is not driven by a genuine concern for the environment, but rather by a desire to shape public opinion and influence behavior. One of the primary reasons the mainstream media wants to control us with global warming propaganda is to justify the implementation of restrictive policies and regulations that would otherwise be met with resistance. By creating a sense of urgency and panic around the issue, governments and corporations can impose draconian measures on the population, such as carbon taxes, strict emission standards, and limitations on personal freedoms. These policies are often disguised as necessary steps to combat climate change, but in reality, they serve to consolidate power and wealth in the hands of a select few. The mainstream media also uses global warming propaganda to distract the population from more pressing issues, such as economic inequality, government corruption, and social injustice. By dominating the headlines with sensationalized stories about melting glaciers and rising sea levels, the media creates a diversion that draws attention away from the real problems that affect people's lives. This is a classic tactic of misdirection, one that has been employed throughout history to maintain control and suppress dissent. Furthermore, the mainstream media's global warming narrative is often used to promote a specific ideological agenda, one that emphasizes the need for a centralized, authoritarian government to manage the crisis. This agenda is rooted in the concept of sustainable development, which posits that the only way to save the planet is through the implementation of a totalitarian system that regulates every aspect of human life. The media's constant drumbeat of fear and alarmism serves to create a sense of hopelessness and despair, which in turn makes people more receptive to the idea of surrendering their freedoms to a benevolent authority. In addition, the mainstream media's obsession with global warming has created a lucrative industry of climate-related products and services, from carbon credits and renewable energy technologies to eco-friendly consumer goods and sustainable investments. This industry is driven by a complex web of interests, including governments, corporations, and non-profit organizations, all of which stand to gain from the perpetuation of the global warming narrative. The media's propaganda machine plays a crucial role in promoting this industry by creating a constant demand for climate-related products and services. The impact of the mainstream media's global warming propaganda on the population is profound. It creates a sense of anxiety and fear, which can lead to a range of negative effects, from emotional distress and mental health problems to decreased economic productivity and social cohesion. The constant barrage of doom-laden headlines and apocalyptic predictions also serves to undermine people's sense of urgency and self-efficacy, making them more likely to surrender to the dictates of authority and abandon their critical thinking skills. In conclusion, the mainstream media's desire to control us with global warming propaganda is a complex and multifaceted phenomenon, driven by a range of motivations, including the desire to justify restrictive policies, distract from more pressing issues, promote a centralized authority, and create a lucrative industry. By recognizing the true nature of this propaganda, we can begin to resist its influence and reclaim our autonomy and critical thinking skills. It is essential to approach the global warming narrative with a healthy dose of skepticism and to seek out alternative perspectives and information, rather than blindly accepting the mainstream media's propaganda as truth. Only by doing so can we hope to break free from the grip of this insidious agenda and create a more just and equitable world.